This is Julie Becker, and today I'm ready to share with you an Infinii business plan to show you information about Infinii and tell you how to be successful with Infinii. This is a webinar, so get comfortable, get yourself a glass of water, relax, shut off all distractions, and get ready to get some in-depth detail on how you can be successful with Infinii. After that, do connect up with me at infinii-info.juliebeckeronline.com and I'll fill you in on more great information. Look forward to talking with you soon.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Kevin Okwana here. I want to hop in the chat and see how everyone is doing out there tonight. We've got almost a packed out house so far. This is beautiful. So I'm pretty excited. You guys should be seeing my screen. I got everyone coming in. Let me know. And if you're new here, let me know where you're coming in from. I want to see how many people are on here that have never seen what we do. Have never been exposed to Infinii and what we've got going on. So just let me know. Let me know in the chat. Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. So quite a few people. So this is good. I'll tell you what, this is going to be a little bit different from what you've typically seen out there on the internet. What we do here, in a nutshell, is this company and this family that we have here, we help each other grow an income online. And we do that in a very supportive but very different kind of way. Right? Very different way than most companies do, than most people try to teach you how to grow an income. All right, I want to show you that real quick, what that looks like. And then I want to show you who I am. And then I want to bring out Hitesh because Hitesh is going to be instrumental in what we're doing here tonight. So what we do, and this is the 2-minute speech on exactly what we do, scratching the surface. Okay. What we do is we go out there and we leverage e-commerce and the trillions of dollars a year being sold out there in e-commerce. If you're on here and you've never heard of us or you've never seen what we do here, have you purchased anything online? Hop in the chat. Let me know if you've purchased anything online, because if you did, not only did the person that's selling you that make the profit, but there's an undertone. There's something happening on the back end that average people are able to take advantage of. And that is the price differences of things. So what we do is we teach people to sell things out there on the internet for a high price. And once they've sold that item, go out there and purchase that item at a low price and ship it directly to their customers. Think about that. Think about that. So if I was over on Amazon and I wanted to take this dress and I wanted to sell it, let's say I sold this dress on eBay and I sold it for $50. But then I went over to Amazon after I sold it and got the money in my pocket. I went over to Amazon and I purchased it for $20 and sent it to the customer that bought it from me. If I could do that, or if we could teach you how to do that on a massive level, would that not be a profitable business idea? Look, all businesses start with one unique idea. And it's up to people to now implement that and train on that and teach on that. And that's what we have here, is one idea of taking something and selling it at a high price and then purchasing it at a low price after you've gotten the money, shipping it to your customer. That's what we do. That's scratching the surface of what we do. And we do that to the tune of billions of dollars. Our members have done that to the tune of billions of dollars in their businesses, our students, our family here with Infinii. That's the power of what you stumbled onto today. That concept, but actually put into massive action with people behind you to teach you how to do it. So I want to show you something. This is just my Facebook wall. Okay. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Kevin Okwana, and I was actually stationed in the United States Air Force. I was in the military. I recently retired. Okay, here's a picture of me and my son, when I was still in the military. I recently retired out of the Air Force. And the one thing that could get me to retire out of the Air Force was the community that we have here of people that are growing their business and changing their lives, because that's what I'm passionate about, is helping people. That's why I enlisted in the military. That's why I'm here today. That's reason number one. Reason number two was to take care of my son. And I'll show you something This is a picture, and we're getting a little bit personal before we hop into this, but this is a picture in 2008 with me and my son, and I was actually promoted to the rank of technical sergeant that day, okay? I was promoted to the rank of technical sergeant, but I might look happy in this picture because I just got promoted to a rank. Should be a happy day, right? It should be a good day. I was very excited, but I'll tell you what, I was scared because this little guy right here, I wouldn't call him a genius. I don't want to make his head get too swelled, but he's a pretty smart kid. And as a father, as a parent, your whole goal in life is to take care of your children and make sure that they have everything that you didn't have growing up, right? And he had the brains to do it. And I was afraid that being in the military, I wouldn't have enough of an income. I wouldn't have enough of an income to send him to the schools that he needed to go to send him to the colleges that would, really help him blossom. I was afraid, and it really, really bothered me. And so the next thing that I did after this picture, I immediately, on the day that I'd made rank and became a technical sergeant in the United States Air Force, I immediately took 2 weeks off of work. I stopped working for a couple weeks, and I scoured the internet looking for ways to grow an income online. And I'll tell you what, I was pretty successful with it, right? But I was in an industry where 97% of the people would fail in that industry, right? I mean, I was generating leads and sales online, but that's 97% of the people fail there. And so I knew that there had to be something more. There had to be something more. And I was lucky enough to come across these gentlemen right here. All right. These two guys right here. This is Tesh and this is Jason. Two of the most amazing people you'll ever meet. This guy, well, he's going to cringe when I say this, is always the smartest man in the room and has the biggest heart. This is Jason. He's got a tribe of kids. They love him. Everybody loves this man because of what he does to change lives. So I was lucky enough to stumble across these guys. And it really has changed my life. And I think a lot of people on this webinar right now, if you're a part of what we're doing, you can agree that they've enhanced your life quite a bit. But getting back to this look, most of the things you're going to find out there are going to be an uphill battle, okay? And there's going to be no blueprint. There's going to be no pathway to massive success, right? There's no handbook that tells you do this, do that, do this, and you're going to make money. It really comes down to just sponsor and sell and sponsor and sell something that you're probably never going to use, right? That's what it is. Now, this company and these folks that you're about to be around are different. They believe that you don't have to rely on that. When you sponsor somebody or you bring somebody into a company, it should be from a standpoint of this is recommend that has changed my life. From that standpoint, you will be unstoppable. So we're going to teach you and we're going to give you the blueprint today that is going to let you leverage a lot of these things. And no one's ever given you this blueprint, I'm telling you. But we're going to teach you and show you what you need to do exactly to get to that six-figure income. Because I think that's the big goal for everybody. And that was my goal way back when I was standing in my yard on the day that I went ahead and got promoted to a rank. And I was deathly afraid because I knew that job wasn't going to pay me enough to take care of my family. I knew it, but I didn't want to get rid of it, right? I didn't want to walk away from it because of the family there. The only thing that could get me to walk away from it is the family that we have here with Infinii and what we do. Entrepreneurs, action takers, people who believe in growing a business and believe that you can do it too. So I want to turn this over to Tesh, and he's going to start walking you through this. And we'll do some back and forth, but I'm telling you guys, this guy, you need to perk up. Really, this is the time when you take out notes. I know on every webinar they say, hey, get a pen and paper. We're going to take notes. And the reality is you never do, and you don't need to in most places. But in this webinar, we're actually going to go through actionable steps and things you can do to reach your goals and grow your income. And I wish in 2008, I would have met these two guys, because that would have just immediately fast-tracked my success and would have had me head and shoulders above the competition all the way. And this is what we want for you guys. Success in your lives, success in your family, growing that income to give you that peace of mind, right? Money's not everything, but I've never seen anyone not smiling on a jet ski, right? And if you can take care of your family and leave a legacy behind you of wealth and success because you were around these two gentlemen right here, then that's what you need to do. So perk up, grab a pen and paper. This isn't one of those grab a pen and paper, then no one does it. Literally grab a pen and paper, because this guy is the smartest guy I know. And he'll be able to change your life. I guarantee it right now, tonight. We're going to help do that. All right. So Hitesh, my friend, are you here? Can you pop on out? And
Yep, I am here, and I am usually the smartest person in the room because I work in an office by myself.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, Kevin, for all of that. That is, you're extremely generous and kind for putting things in the way that you did, and kind of downplayed yourself, because Kevin is one of the most prolific lead generation specialists when it comes to it. This is the guy that you want to learn from when it comes to all things related to traffic generation, lead generation, and advertising campaigns online. And we'll touch upon that a little bit here soon as well. Okay, but what I'm going to do is, I have a little weird style of going over stuff. If you have been on any webinars with me before, you might have noticed that I use something called Microsoft Paint. And I do that because it makes things very interactive. It makes it very easy for people to understand what we're doing. Okay, so the typical business flow is usually spend a lot of money up front and then immediately start sharing the business with others, because turns out usually that's the only way to get sales or to recruit people or anything like that typically happens in a business. And then you hope to make profits. Right? That's kind of the flow. Very few people even have a business plan, even in real businesses. Okay, I'm talking about typical businesses out there. I'm not even talking about home-based businesses. Now, it's not a surprise then that all businesses are included. Again, we're not talking about just home-based businesses. We're not talking about network marketing companies. We're not talking about MLMs. We're not talking about online gigs. We're talking about all businesses. 80% of them fail in the first 18 months. Okay, so less than 20% actually move on to month 19 and beyond. Okay, so there's something unique about businesses that survive longer than a year and a half. Okay, we are kind of an example. This is third year that we are doing this stuff. Now, here's what the problem is with this business model. Hopefully, you guys can already see it. In fact, let me take a very quick survey. How many of you on this call right now have been a part of a typical MLM or a typical network marketing company or something of that nature? All right, so the chat goes wild, and we have about 250 people who have been involved already. Okay, so I'm going to put this in context of that, since pretty much everybody on the call is familiar with it. Let's take example of a company or a product where you sell, or where the product is coffee or some kind of nutritional supplement or whatever. Okay, I'm not picking on any specific company. I'm simply talking about the business model. Okay, so the business model involves that you spend anywhere between $500 to $5,000 upfront. Okay, these are usually called something very encouraging like starter packs or kickstart bonuses, or something funny to make you feel that you're doing the right thing, like maybe seed of faith investment or something like that. Okay, something of that nature. Okay, and again, all business does require that. Then the immediate goal is that now that you have spent this money up front, the way you're going to get that back is by getting other people to repeat that same step. Okay, so you're immediately going to go on Facebook, or you're going to call your aunt, or you're going to call your sister or uncle or whoever you're in touch with, and tell them about this new business that you've just started. And if they would just join you in this business, that would really help you out, and you'll be able to get them these great products at a distributor price. Okay, that's kind of what starts happening pretty darn quickly. Okay, has that been kind of the standard experience for anybody on this call? Okay, so pretty much everybody. And then you can imagine what the problem is. You hope to make profits, but there is a little problem with that concept. The only way you're going to make profits is by making sure that these people that you contacted in this step right here, you need to make sure that they are spending enough money that you make profits. Okay, now I think that becomes quite obvious what that means. What that means is they have to spend more money than they will make so that you can make more money than you will have spent so far. So kind of a crummy situation, because at the end of the day, most people cannot make money in this model, okay? And I'm not saying they don't make money or they couldn't make money because they didn't try hard enough. I'm saying they cannot make money because of this business model. Because these people here have to spend more money than they can make so that you can make more money than you have spent. That's just not cool. I mean, that's just not going to work out long term. So that's the problem with the model. Okay, so all the people online who will tell you that, you know, guys, the whole problem is that you didn't work hard enough, or you didn't share hard enough, or you didn't call enough prospects, or things like that, they're kind of wrong, because the business model itself is just not sustainable. Okay, it's like the whole discussion that we have on the political side, right? Oh, is Social Security sustainable or not, and stuff like that. At some point, you have to do the math and realize there's something wrong fundamentally in the whole system. So we have to realize that the only way you can build successful businesses is if you have outside sales, or what we call true retail profits being generated. Okay, meaning your business should ideally look like this. You spend relatively low cost upfront. Okay, so we are talking about, and everybody's definition of what low means is different, but I'm talking about less than $1,000 for sure. You never want to spend more than that upfront. As little as possible is ideal. Then what you want to do is participate in real commerce, which means you are buying and selling products out there that are actually in demand to people that you don't actually know. Okay, does that make sense? You're sharing it with people, you're selling it to people that you don't actually know. So you're not limited to what we call your warm market. Okay, so you participate in real commerce and you generate real profits, which means that your total income earned is greater than all your expenses put together. Okay, and this is going to be very important in a second. And then the final point is you share this concept with your warm market. Okay, here's why that's so different. Because now people in your warm market, okay, your uncle and aunt and people on your Facebook and people in your Instagram and so on and so forth, all of those people are going to follow the same concept, which means they will make money without having to share that with other people immediately. And they're going to participate in real commerce, and they're going to generate an income that is going to be greater than what they have spent. So you don't have any of these bad situations that happen with typical MLMs. Okay, so far, does it sound like a better business model? Actually pull it off, right? But so far, does it sound like a better business model than a typical thing that happens online? All right, beautiful. So everybody agrees it's a better business model. The whole question is, how can we actually pull this off? Now, here is the whole thing that people get stuck on. To participate in real commerce, you have to drive real traffic. You have to get people out there to look at the products that you're selling. And you have to be able to sell a lot more. You have to be able to participate in lots of different products. So what we're going to do is use a concept called leverage. We're going to leverage major platforms out there to drive the traffic and customers for us. Okay, that's how you're going to make this happen. So it's a very simple thing, right? So about 15 years ago, things really started changing dramatically, because you could now start advertising on Google as of 2004 and such. You could really start driving a lot of traffic using Google and so on and so forth. Then along came e-commerce, and now you had companies that were specifically targeted around buyers, and they would collect buyers. And two of the biggest of them are eBay and Amazon, right? Pretty much everybody on here has heard of these companies. If you have heard of them or have purchased from them, in fact, let's do a different poll. If you purchase something from eBay or Amazon today, please say yes.
Wow.
All right, so pretty much everybody today purchased something from eBay and Amazon. All right, so guys, nobody forced you there. Nobody spent a lot of money to get you there. You guys went there because you know that's where the products are. So what should we do as sellers? What's common sense thing to do as sellers? We should go on eBay and Amazon and sell items there. Okay, everybody agrees that's the way to do it. Now come the next two issues. if I go on eBay or if I go on Amazon and I want to sell things, I want to sell something, how do I do the following? One, how do I know what to sell? Two, how do I actually go through the process? And three, how do I ensure that I am profitable without having to deal with all the difficulties, right? So the whole process has lots of logistical issues. You have to get a product that's a good product, a high quality product, to put it out there, people have to buy it, then you have to ship it to them and so on. Again, we're going to use leverage. We're going to let Amazon, eBay, all of these kind of places deal with that whole process. And we are going to use something called drop shipping and product sourcing to allow other companies to handle all of that work for us. Okay, so our costs are going to be negligible. Our work is going to be negligible, and we're going to let all of the stuff be handled by other companies. Now, here is where it starts getting very different. So far, actually, I'm going to do something kind of different. This is usually the time that you get on a webinar and people start pitching you and they say, I guarantee you have never heard anything like this. Now, so far, if everything you've heard so far is the kind of stuff that you have heard before, if you are aware that you can sell with e-commerce, if somebody has offered to teach you how to do that and so on, just say yes. All right, there you go. So a few people who haven't, but vast majority of the people are aware that you can go out there and sell on Amazon, eBay, and you can make money with that. Okay, so far this is not a groundbreaking, revolutionary thing. The big difference, though, is what is your actual business plan to be able to pull it off? Now, the unique thing that we have on our side is that we get to analyze billions of dollars worth of transactions, especially billions of dollars worth of transactions within our environment, so we can see what our people are actually doing. And one great thing that I get to do is, as would be very appropriate for a stereotypical Indian, I get to go through all the math and I get to figure out all of these numbers and figure out what the actual way to be successful is. Okay, so what I did is went ahead and used all of this data to create a business plan on what you actually need to do specifically to be successful. Okay, so take a look at this quick. Let's start with a relatively good number. How many people here would have a significantly beneficial impact in their life by making an extra $10,000 a month, a year? Let's start with a year. Okay, so 10,000 a year is a very big change for majority of the people. Okay, so I'm just going to put 10,000 here. And now, because we have all of this data already, we have all of these numbers plugged in, we already know what the average price point is that is selling out there. We already know the number of listings that result in a sale. We already know from our network that there's an average profit of 11.6% on each sale. Yeah. You are looking at having to generate about $86,200 in sales, which, based on our numbers internally, would require you to have about 208 listings up on eBay. Okay. Now, this is where people drop the ball. How many of you would get to 25 listings, not see a sale, and say, screw this, it didn't work? This is the point of a business plan. Now you have mathematical, numbers-based model that tells you how far you need to go to hit your goals. Now you'll notice something. I've actually included an extra $300 a month in costs. There could be costs of using tools, of using software, of paying somebody for extra training or whatever. All of those things, I've just thrown them in there just to make sure we have a realistic thing going on here. Okay, so this is kind of what you need to do. Now, if you are not successful after making some listings, that means you're performing significantly below average. Who here has made some listings on eBay and not seen a sale? And that is why, guys, well, okay, so some people say, I did it initially and then I kept listing, I see a lot more sales. But very few people have actually gone through the training, made the listings, and not seen sales. For those of you who haven't, this is why. These numbers are the average numbers. Obviously, some people are above average, some people are below average in this case. You guys are not following the training really well. What you have to do is follow the training a little bit better and make sure that you're doing it right, you're using the right tools for it, and so on. Okay? But this is your specific business model, and we're actually going to go through some of those possible issues and see how we can help with that. So this is how you would go about making sure that you have a goal to set in mind. You want to make 10,000 a month, a year. This is what you'll come down to net monthly income. This is how many sales you need to generate over that month. And this is how many listings you need up. Now, if you do this the right way, you should need a lot less listings than this. What should usually start happening is by the time you get to 100, 120 listings, you should be removing your least performing listings and focusing on the best performing categories. And that is how you would keep growing your business over time. Okay, that's how you actually scale this thing up. Now, the problem a lot of people have is they think of business as one thing that you do. In reality, business is multiple things that work together to generate profits. Most companies out there, most successful businesses out there do not have just one product or just one service. Okay, most successful companies out there have a myriad of different sources, myriad of different things that they're involved in. That's what you guys have to learn to do as well. Okay, so what we found is that our users, on average, to make $10,000 a year, would need only 208 live listings. That's actually really, really easy to do. So you guys need to write down at this moment. Actually, can some of you drop a goal in here? How much money would you like to make per year from eBay? $15,000, $50,000, so on and so forth. Okay, now here's the problem. I would like to make $500,000 from eBay per year. Here is the reality, guys. And again, there are a lot of people out there who would gladly pitch you and sell you and tell you how easy that is. Oh, hey, look at my screenshots. I did $200,000 last month. Okay, first of all, sales are not the same as net profits, right? That's why we have included some extra cost, and you'll see that play out here in a second. Secondly, be realistic. The reality is that a vast majority of people are not going to make $100,000 in net profits off of eBay all the time. That's just not going to happen. And anybody who tells you that, oh yeah, everybody can make $100,000 in net profits off of eBay is just plain lying. The math just doesn't add up. I mean, go ahead and do the math yourself, figure it out yourself. Even if every one of the 7 billion people in the world was shopping at eBay, you would not be able to generate that kind of income for more than like 1 million people. Okay, so you have to be realistic and you have to learn to pick your resources and pick your battles. So you have to figure out how much income am I going to generate from eBay, how much income am I going to generate from Amazon, how much income am I going to generate from my own sources, from my own stores, and how much am I going to do from all of the other things that I can participate in. Okay, that's why I kept this a very reasonable 10 to 15,000. Okay, so let's keep this about 15,000 as our goal here. Next, let's move to Amazon. Okay. Amazon, you get to go and source items from, and you get to source your own items and send into Amazon. That's called FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon. Now, Amazon, you can make a little bit more money on right now, especially because of the way the whole thing is structured, because of the fact they have a lot more buyers at the moment, and so on and so forth. So who here is currently selling on Amazon? Yes, yes, yes. A lot of people who want to, but haven't started yet. There's no reason for you guys not to start yet. You pretty much have access to all of the stuff. No reason to wait for it. But here's a beautiful thing with Amazon. You have a lot more sales happening. A big factor right now is that the average profit margin is higher. We have a 21.8% average profit margin selling on Amazon compared to the average profit about 11% on eBay. Now, this is a combination of two types of sales. There are people who are drop shipping on Amazon, and there are people who are sending their own products in and making a lot more profit margin there. Again, you need to make a lot of sales. A lot of sales need to happen over here for you to be able to generate about $40,000 in net income. Okay, we're talking about net income. A lot of people out there will gladly show you screenshots of 100,000 a month in sales. You start looking through their numbers and you figure out they're making maybe $2,000 in actual profit. Okay, so you have to be realistic about this kind of stuff. You have to figure out what's actually happening out there. You have to learn to combine lots of things together. There are some people who are doing exceptionally well. Okay, we have some accounts that have done 80, 90,000 a month, and we have had $20,000 off of that be profit, but that's not going to happen for everyone. Again, it's a mathematical thing. Now, what you'll notice is that I've added a lot more extra monthly costs here. That's because if you are sourcing products, you will need to actually buy those products and send them in. So this works out to almost $20,000 over the year that you're going to spend in sourcing, in maybe hiring a customer support rep for yourself, in getting the tools or the training or whatever you want to do there. And this is how that breaks down for us. People who are doing well on Amazon are using the training, which teaches them how to sell. They're using an arbitrage app, which is usually Amazon seller app. They're using what are called arbitrage lists, which is lists of products where they can see that they're profitable. It's selling for $2 on one side, and they can sell it on Amazon for 12, and that's how they target those items. And a percentage of people use coaching. They basically go to somebody who is an expert, who has done well, and they ask them for help. Be careful who you choose there, obviously. Not very easy to figure people out, but that's basically how you go about it. Okay, so far, is this making more sense? Are you guys beginning to maybe realize how the business should actually be done and what your actual goals should be as you're going about this? Okay, beautiful. So we know we have a business model that makes a lot more sense. We now know that we have very attainable, realistic goals on what we need to be doing. We know what to expect in form of costs. Therefore, you should not be jumping in here. You should not be jumping into sourcing products if you don't have $1,800 to spare. You should be doing very basic arbitrage. You should be selling on eBay and things of that nature. Okay. Now, at this point, I would like to pause for a second and address question number 3, which is, how do I know what to sell and how do I ensure that I'm actually profitable? Okay. Now, this is the major issue because of which we have to go through this massive evolution to try and figure out what we could actually do to help people with these things. And that's where we developed something called the Infinii marketplace. Okay. And you don't have to worry. I'm going to tell you guys up front, there's not a sales pitch. You don't have to spend a single penny for the Infinii marketplace. It's just there to be a major solution to a big problem that exists out there. Okay. So what happens right now is you have 4 people involved in a process. Okay. This is the customer, okay, or what we call the consumer. The consumer just wants a product, okay? He wants, let's say, he wants a chair to sit on, okay? He wants a computer chair to sit on that won't hurt his back, which would be amazing if there was a real one that did that. And then you have the marketplace. The marketplace is where the product is purchased from, where the consumer goes to buy the product. And then you have the supplier. The supplier in the background is the place where the marketplace gets the product from. Okay, so whoever sells the product gets it from the supplier, and obviously the supplier gets it from the manufacturer. Okay, that's kind of the chain that we call the supply chain, if you will. This is kind of the flow on where the product actually comes from. Now, the way this was being done and the way this has been done for a long time is through retail arbitrage, which basically means the consumer goes to the marketplace, let's say it's eBay, and when he buys the product from eBay, somebody in the background is drop shipping the product from another retail store, maybe Overstock, maybe from Amazon, maybe from something else. And then obviously Overstock, Amazon, whoever is getting the product from the manufacturer at a certain price. So what ends up happening is all of these places have their own fees along the way, and there's profit to be generated by the reseller. So you are the reseller who is listing the item on eBay. You're the one who the customer bought the item from. You have to make a profit. Manufacturer has to make a profit. All these sites have to make a profit. So the customer is willing to pay $900 for a high-end chair that doesn't hurt him. And I know it's kind of nuts, but there are chairs like that. And the manufacturer is actually manufacturing this thing for maybe $550. Okay, and there's all these costs along the way. It's actually much less than that. I'm exaggerating it. It's usually like $200. And then you have all the shipping and the logistics and the movement across the board and all the taxes involved. And that's how the cost ends up at $900. Now, what we noticed after having looked at hundreds of millions of dollars worth of sales, what we noticed pretty quickly is that the reseller their margin is going down more and more over time because the consumers are smarter. They are shopping for the cheapest prices now. And the reseller's profit margin is kind of going down over time. So the solution is very straightforward. What if we cut out this retail supplier and we grab the product from the manufacturer and make it available directly to the reseller? Okay. What this lets us do is cut off roughly 18 to 20% on the cost. So now suddenly you're able to get these products at an even cheaper price. It allows you to be competitive in the marketplace, allows you to sell it really well, but actually pocket that profit margin. Okay, does that make sense? Do you guys see why that might be a good way to resolve a potential problem over time? All right, so here is what we have done so far. We have put together the training, we put together the tools, we put together the resources that you would need to run this business, and then we realized that there's one major thing that anybody can provide the training at this point. Okay, I mean, seriously, if you go and look at Amazon's own training on selling the Amazon marketplace, it's amazing. One of the best trainings that I've seen. I was pretty shocked because they usually have a history of producing pretty crappy directions. But one of the best trainings that I've seen actually comes from Amazon itself now. All of these companies are realizing that we have to help our sellers sell appropriately. The main thing that we have to fix is figure out what to sell, how to sell, and how to do it profitably, how to ensure that there's profitability. So you will find lots of people who will teach you how to do this stuff right now. They will show you, I made $50,000 in sales. You will find that their profits were negligible because this is what they are doing and this is what we are doing, right? That's our whole aim. Now, our next step is, how do we make this go viral? How do we help people share this and so on? So our idea was, there's only so many vendors, so many manufacturers that we would be able to go out to and work with. We have to be able to go out and reach every vendor out there, every manufacturer out there, and let's share that with our network of sellers. We have almost 200,000 sellers in here. Let's have them go out there and start referring vendors and manufacturers into our system. And in turn, we will pay them some commissions when those products sell. So that really, really opened up this whole new world of how this company and this whole process would flow. And we were able to hit all of our goals. So now we have a system called Infinii, where we have our upfront costs are virtually negligible, $49.95 per month. And now you can sell on eBay, Amazon, your own stores, all that kind of stuff. That's already covered there. You have all the tools you need to be able to do that with the tracking and so on. You have all the resources and weekly help. You have live help through our staff who is training you guys weekly on this stuff with webinars and such. You have all of that. And you now have access to a marketplace where you are able to sell stuff, where you're able to buy stuff from at a cheaper rate, where you're able to refer your vendors in to be able to do a lot of stuff as well. And also provide you with a fulfillment location where you can send in your products and say, hey, every time a sale comes in, please sell these items out there. So all of those things are now included in this whole concept, this whole ecosystem called Infinii, which is relatively, again, the idea is spend relatively very little upfront, participate in real commerce, start generating real profits, and then you can share the concept with your warm market out there. And number 3 of this whole process, which is what we call Infinii Network, which is what we call your income from sharing the concept. Okay, remember, this is the third step. This is not the first thing you do. Some people can do it first. This is not in a fixed order, but that's what I'm going to pass it on to Kevin for in a second. But the idea with network is a little different. As you noticed, the average profit percentage on Amazon and eBay is relatively low. So you need a lot of annual sales to be able to generate a real income. On the network side, your average profit margin is significantly higher. Okay, and that allows you to generate a lot more income. So if you wanted to make $12,000 in annual income, in net annual income from this part, it's relatively easy because you don't have as much annual sales goal to hit, right, compared to other places. The great thing about this, though, is this is when you start going from somebody who is purely leveraging other companies into developing your own network that you can leverage down the road. This is where you start developing your own lists of subscribers. You start developing, your own entire business model that brands you, and you can use this to grow your sales on eBay, Amazon, all those other pieces as well. Okay, so far, does all of this make sense? Beautiful. You know what an accomplishment it is to be able to explain the whole thing and everybody understands it and it makes a lot of sense. And it's not hard because it's a very logical system, right? It's very, very common sense once you put it out this way once you have the numbers in front of you, and you're not going by somebody just going, well, I made a bunch of money and therefore pay me and I will show you how to make a bunch of money, which is essentially the sales pitch people give out there right now. It's kind of ridiculous. So now the next step in this whole process that you've already understood, that you've already seen, you get what we are doing out there, is actually putting this into action and then expanding our ecosystem a little bit more. Okay, so the next step in this whole thing is adding in the same concept on the digital side, which is what we have done now. We've also added what we call the Infinii digital library. And now you are able to leverage your network that you have built, and you can now sell new courses, you can sell more virtual information, you can sell services through the Infinii digital system. Okay, now the first few things that are going to be live on the Infinii digital system are going to be a trading platform, there's our tracking platform, there's a very awesome training called Book Boss. I don't know if people have heard about this, but this is basically going back to the old school way of working Amazon to generate profits using books. Actually, we have some users who have already been using the test version of it and some pretty awesome results on it. Again, don't worry about it. We're not selling you guys on anything right now. Well, in a way we are, because you're kind of seeing the results from it, but I sold a book for $70 on Amazon, paid 99 cents for it. Shipment just got checked in. Minutes later, sold my first book. Paid $7.50, made $100 plus in profits. Pretty cool stuff, right? So we've been kind of testing this stuff out, making sure it's actually really, really good and help you guys. And we'll be releasing that as one of the digital products towards the end of this month as well. Actually, sooner than the end of this month, but during this month, we'll be releasing that as well. What's happening now is every activity in this entire ecosystem is generating some kind of business value. Okay, some value is being generated whenever something happens. If you refer a vendor into the system, you generated some value for us. If you just made a sale using one of the vendors, you generated some value. If you just launched a digital product, you have generated value. If you just purchased a digital product, you have generated some value. All of those things are now tracked in the entire ecosystem through points that we call BV, literally business value or business volume. And that's how this whole system operates on itself. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second. We've spent about 40 minutes, maybe about 35 minutes going through the details of this. I'm going to pause for a second and ask a question. Is this so far the most logically laid out business plan that you guys have seen? Beautiful. Look at that. And I always get crap from Kevin because he's like, well, people can't really understand you. You complicate stuff. This is like realistic. This is how you lay stuff out. So now we've used Paint, we've used Excel, and most people kind of, but this is how you develop business plans. Okay, so now we have a very clear, straightforward business plan in place. Now, if you saw the email about this webinar, you saw a number, $273 per day. Okay, now that number comes from a very simple factor. That means $100,000 per year. Okay, $100,000 per year is higher than what the average family is currently making in the US. Okay, so if we're not going to go global, because globally that number is actually much less than 100,000, but 100,000 per year is very, very, very good income for vast majority of the people. Okay. So what we are going to be doing is developing a business plan that focuses on getting us to this point over a course of 6 months. Okay. So again, guys, a real business plan. This is not going to be a sales pitch of you're going to pay me $1,500 and then I'm going to infuse some magical stuff into you through the dreams. And apparently now we are in inception world and you're going to start making money tomorrow. What I can tell you is that if you apply the stuff that's in here, if you just literally do something as simple as copy paste products that we show you guys, copy paste those products onto your eBay and Amazon accounts, you can start making sales. We've had a lot of people who made sales in their first hour. We've had a lot of people who made sales in their first week. We've had a tremendous number of people who have made sales and profits in their first month. But at the end of the day, you have to do it, one, the right way, and second, consistently, and build it up over 6 months. Okay, nobody just comes in, well, I shouldn't say nobody. We've had people who've come in and made $100,000 in their second month. Okay, that's happened. But that's not the norm. And although we would get a lot of mileage out of highlighting those people and making everybody else feel like a loser, the reality is that vast majority of the people have to build up to this level. Okay, it takes a few weeks to a few months to get to those income points. So the whole idea is getting ourselves $273 per day in net income over the course of 6 months. And at the end of those 6 months, our income concept, our income idea should be switching from pure eBay and pure Amazon to developing our own leverageable networks so we can keep expanding. We can move into digital side. We can move into all of these other things that are out there with the referring of vendors and so on, so that we can keep developing our income more. Okay. So what I'm going to do for a minute is let me see actually if by any chance we have a couple of young guys named Nathan and Dion. Does anybody on here, have you guys heard of these young kids called Nathan and Dion, who are actually only a year younger than me, so I should be calling them kids? But if you have, say yes. And Nathan, I'm going to unmute you for a second. Tell me if you are here. Okay,
Hey.
Nathan, you're unmuted. There you go.
And Dion is here as well.
Yeah, the kid versions of ourselves.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know why I call you guys kids all the time. It's probably because Kevin calls you kids, but I should be calling you kids. We are pretty much the same age.
So Kevin under the bus there.
In Japan, you must be a kid for quite some time, huh? Even at
You are.
26.
That's right.
Yeah, well, it's definitely pretty awesome to see everything that's going on with Infinii now. Now, since we do have the opportunity to, once everyone has a good friend or somebody that they've known they've heard of a good product that they know of, and now we have the place that we can put it in and start generating BV and all sorts of fun, cool stuff in the whole ecosystem of this e-commerce chain.
Yep, it's been quite exciting. It's something that businesses are already looking for, and to have it neatly packaged like this, where they're really going to get extreme value out of it, it makes that connection so much easier. Going out and thinking about all the different businesses, like Nathan was saying, has these unique products that wish they can get the type of exposure that we can produce here through Infinii. It just makes it so easy, but at the same time, it's rewarding on all sides. Currently, we have a product in the cell phone space that's the first of its type, and it actually has a guarantee to back that. So I'm pretty excited for everybody to be able to have the ability to move that as they please. And we have the first ever product of its type in the Keurig space. So for those that are coffee drinkers or not, you're going to be excited to see this product. We also have a patented product in the fitness space that we're currently working on right now to really get out there in the marketplace, but we're going to see it here very quickly. And today we're actually with Hitesh at a warehouse that has over 700 items, most of which are in the sporting goods. And this company, the company owner is very excited because the synergy here that we're going to have is going to be amazing. There's a lot more that we're going to be able to do than just leverage some of the items that they have. And again, all 700 plus the what we've learned through Infinii and all of the bundling and the different techniques, you're going to be able to do that with these products as well. 20 of their items that they had, and I could probably go on with more. For those that are aware of BSRs, bestseller ratings on Amazon, 20 of them that they have currently are in the bestseller categories, and our categories are categorized as bestsellers within Amazon. So it's exciting just with these products. I'm not talking about those 20, but all of which I vaguely mentioned so far. Just with these products, the amount of extra earning potential that the Infinii members are now going to have is just, it's really going to be exciting. But what's also as exciting is introducing these vendors to this marketplace, because it is so dang simple. And I know you're probably listening to this right now. You probably can think of in the last year or two different products, different individuals that you've had, that you've been working with, that have these products or these companies that you would love to just introduce here. So just ask yourself that question, maybe on a day-to-day basis, who would be benefited? What vendor would be benefited if I just introduce them to the Infinii marketplace? And I know Hitesh can elaborate a bit more on what we saw today with this warehouse and how instrumental that's going to be for this ecosystem we have here.
Absolutely. Well, guys, for a second, I'm going to step back first. I'm going to roll back to the simplicity of it all. Can you go back a little bit to just explaining how easy it has been for you to just list items on eBay and Amazon, just follow the training, list items on eBay and Amazon, and start generating an income just from that?
Well, it is. What was it? We're going. I think Dion wanted an answer.
Oh no, it's all right. No,
we're going to talk at the same time. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, everyone's seen it, and when you make your first sale, when you have that. I mean, everyone remembers that feeling when they make their first sale, and then from there, you're seeking after the second, third, fourth, fifth to the 100th. I mean, there's really not much else to say except just doing the dang thing,
Yeah, I tell my story over and over again to people, and it was funny. I was in a meeting the other day with an individual that was looking to partner with us on a few different opportunities, and they're working with celebrities and doing big business deals, and the conversation quickly turned into I don't know if we talked to them about our backgrounds, but just the idea, the concept. Actually, that's one of the best drop shippers calling you right now. But yeah, so how they were so amazed by how we were taking items from Amazon, putting them on eBay, and profiting from that, and using this drop shipping model. They hadn't heard of it. They hadn't heard how simple it was. But to as I'm telling them this story, I'm thinking back to when I was making my first few sales. As Nathan was saying, you get that excitement, that the feeling, and all you want to do is recreate that, and you recognize right then and there that you're leveraging some of the biggest platforms in this, on this earth, as far as e-commerce goes, and you're basically able to use this trend and be able to profit from it. But as simple as it is as simple as it is to start sharing it with other people. We overcomplicate it far too often, but it's exciting because whether it's the drop shipping you're focusing on, the different opportunities within that space, or now you're maybe also introducing a little bit of the focus of bringing vendors in, we're just going to focus on keeping it simple and keeping it exciting. And I know Hitesh and Jason and Kevin have been really working hard for us to make that opportunity real and real quick.
Beautiful. Thank you. You know what? I'm going to give a very quick example of this. Just so, actually, can I ask a quick question? Who here is new to this world? Like, who is not an Infinii member, who has not done this stuff yet? There's actually a lot of people who are kind of new to this. This is, well, I guess you should have expected this because we have almost 1,000 people on here. So that is kind of acceptable that there are people on the call who have not done this yet. But that's exactly the point, right? There could be something that sounds so obvious to a bunch of people, but at the same time, it's not to most of the world yet. Okay. So guys, I'll show you an example. Okay. So here are some products that are selling $245, $265, $199. These are basically carbon fiber aero bar frames for road bikes. Okay. And here is actually the manufacturer. Okay. The manufacturer of this product is selling it for $95. And then here it is in our system, in our marketplace for $78.85, right? So this is an example of the types of products that you can go put out there. And as you'll see, this one right here says drop ship. So it's enabled for drop shipping. So that means you can actually go out there, list this on eBay or list it on Amazon, wherever you can. And when you make the sale, you just come in here and place the order and put the customer's address. It's that simple. So let's say that Kevin was going to buy this. Well, Kevin is in Japan, so let's not use him as an example. Let's say Dion and Nathan were going to buy this. I list it on eBay for $200. They order it. and I come back here, I place the order in here, and I put their address in. I never touched the product. I never manufactured the product. I never owned the product. I simply participated in the whole process. All right. That's really, 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 really all it is. It's so simple when you actually think about it. There's nothing else to it, guys. I know for a second you're probably shocked, going, hang on a second, this doesn't seem right. How can it be that simple? But it really is that simple. There are actually a lot more products on here that we could go through and see what they're selling for on Amazon and what they're selling for on here. Let me log in there, and I'll just grab one of the products here. I think this is an example. This pops up a lot on the homepage because it's so popular. This one right here is selling a pack of 12 for $68, which means our cost, right? So if I was to buy this, my cost for each one of these is roughly about $6, right? Right in that range, but under $6, $5 and probably 70 cents. But if we go to Amazon and let's look up Buff Baby, we see that it's selling right here for $23.99 plus shipping, or $30 right here. So our cost in this case is $5.40 per unit, and it's selling for $30 per unit, right? So it's that simple. You list it on Amazon, the product sells, and you ship out the product, or if you want to use a fulfillment service, they ship out the product on your behalf to the end consumer. So Dion decides to get into working out, and like we said, these are young kids. So he buys one of these, and we go ahead and place the order and ship it out to him. Never had to touch it, never had to deal with it. And in this case, you're looking at about a $16, $17 profit on each time this happens, okay? So this is why I said this is so very easy to pull off. Now, there are a few questions that will probably pop up at this point. Some, hopefully, for those of you whose gears are turning in the mind right now, you should be going, okay, first of all, how much money do we need to spend to actually get in on this? And the second question should be, aren't there going to be problems with the customer? Isn't the customer going to see a product that's coming from a different place or brand from a different place? So first of all, guys, having seen well over 1 million transactions, actually closing over 4 million transactions at this point, I can tell you 99% of the time the customer does not care where the product comes from. In fact, if you think back to it, you will realize that vast majority of the time, you do not care where the product comes from. You just open the package and you see it's the product that you had ordered, and that's it. So having looked at a lot of data, most of the time the customer does not even look into where the product was shipped from. Secondly, when you start doing it the right way and you actually start sourcing it from directly the manufacturers or from the marketplace, or even in some cases from other retail locations that do not include branding on the product, it really doesn't matter anyway, because the customer is not going to be seeing some other branding, and the customer isn't really going to care about it a whole lot either. So that is a very valid question, and with the process I'm thinking about it, but it really doesn't happen a whole lot. It's really not a common issue at all. I don't know if you guys want to add to that at all, Dion, Nathan, from your experience. Nathan, what are your sales like right now? Like, what are you doing per month on eBay?
Closing in on, still hovering around 150 to 200,000 a month.
Okay, so you're doing about 150,000 a month. How many times do you get a user who's really unhappy that you are not, that your item came from Amazon or Overstock or somewhere else?
Very rarely. I mean, if anything, I mean, probably 1 out of 100.
Exactly. So about 99% of the time, they don't really care, and there really is no problem. I believe those are gross sales, right? That's not your profit.
I'd like to pretend or believe that it is profit, but yes.
and guys, you do not want to ask him about taxation stuff. You want to deal with your tax stuff.
In case you were wondering.
So now the whole next question comes to, okay, fine. All of the process makes sense, but how do I actually list and make sure that I do actually get sales, right? That's your hopefully next big question. Does anybody have that question? Has anybody thought of that question yet? How do we actually get sales and make sure that the sales come in fast? Okay, so some people do have that question, which is great. So guys, let's go through an example of an item. Okay, so one of the big benefit of using the entire system is that not only do you get the training on, which is very in-depth training, highly recommend you go through this, which actually shows you how to list the items in the best possible way to make sure you get a lot of sales. And as you can see, we cover everything from listing on eBay the first time, creating your account, all the way through the process, how to do this if you're an international user, how to sell on Amazon, how to do this, the whole process internationally. What are the bonus things that international members can do that US members cannot, and so on and so forth. You know, all of this stuff is back there, so you should be paying attention to that and learning from that. But you can also just use our tools, which actually assist you in this entire process as you go through it. Okay, so I'm going to try and create a new listing on eBay. And what the system is essentially going to do is gather up all the information on the item and show me exactly how to go ahead and optimize this to get the most sales possible. So you will notice now, all I've done is put in the URL of the product that I want to sell. Okay, and now I'm going to tell the system that I want to make 11.6%, right? Let's just go with our average profit margin. I want to make 11.6%. So it's now calculated what my listing price should be if my source is Amazon. If the product costs $30 to buy, what should be my price after all of the PayPal fees, eBay fees, the profit that I want to make, and the sales tax involved, all of those things combined, what should it look like? It's grabbed the images of the product already. It's already grabbed the description of the product. It's basically good to go. But the cool thing is, the main important part is that you now want to type in a keyword or a couple keywords that you think potential buyers might be typing in. Okay, so for example, let's try baby dumbbell and show suggestions. You actually want to go broader than this. Usually you want to type in baby toys and baby rattle. In this case, it is a baby rattle. But this is going to show you immediately what category you want to list the item in to make sure you get the most visibility and what are the keywords that people are typing in for that. So if I was to try baby rattle, it's going to find for me what category I should list it in. What are the keywords being used right now by potential parents who are looking for a product for their child? So silver baby rattle, baby toys, vintage baby rattle, baby sock rattle, baby wrist rattle. Basically, the training goes through and shows you how to use these keywords and how to use this category combination to create the perfect titles as well. So in this case, for example, I would go with something like baby dumbbell rattle or baby rattle dumbbell, and then I would just use a few additional keywords that I get are being searched a lot and put them out there. Select, these are the images that are popular on eBay right now. Obviously, we are going to use the images of the product itself. We're just going to select those, just like that. You're going to choose which is going to be our main image. Maybe this one, the child is grimacing quite. Maybe it'll get their parents a little interested in that. This looks like it'll be a good bundle image to sell diapers with this as well. But we would just go ahead and go through the process, and the item is now going to show up on eBay. It's going to be listed on there. That's literally the process, guys. The item will be on your eBay account now, already optimized, has all the information in it. There are some additional things you can do to make this even stronger if you would like, but this is pretty much the process. Nathan, do you want to confirm once that the process is as it is? Because I'm assuming that there are at least 100 people on this call right now who would have a hard time believing it really is that simple. I think, Nathan, you are muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Hey, what was the question one more time?
The question is, can you confirm that what I just showed in terms of simplicity, that you literally just grab the item, list it on eBay, or optimize it like we show in the training, that's really all there is to it?
I would be inclined to say, yeah. I mean, it sounds like it was easier it was easier than when I first started, definitely. By hand doing every listing
Easy peasy. Even the baby in the picture could do it. No,
Yes.
disclaimer. The baby can only lift weights.
Alrighty. So, guys, hopefully at this point, everybody understands the concept, understands the business model, understands the business plan on what you're going to be trying to do here to get yourself to a reasonable place of success. And now we can talk a little bit about maybe the next two pieces, which are the network part and the growth part, because that's where you actually develop what we call wealth. Okay, so your wealth is basically your assets. Okay, it's not just your cash flow, it's your assets as well. One sad thing about doing a lot of e-commerce selling where you are using other companies like Amazon and eBay is that you're not developing a massive asset at the same time. And the benefit of developing your own network, whether it's within the space of teaching other people to do this, whether it's in the space of sharing the platform with others, or if it's in a completely different space, maybe even developing an asset in the form of subscribers or developing a following in some other niche altogether, maybe in the fitness side, like we are working on some things right now. All of those things are things that translate to long-term wealth. They translate to long-term income. And that's actually what people originally get in for, right? People have this kind of a goal in their mind. They think, if I only had this much money, then things would be set. My kids would be fine. I would have everything covered till college. And that's what they actually get in for. Then they pretty soon start getting the runaround and they get lost in all the details of all the different things that you can do out there. And as we know, only about 2 to 3% of them are actually successful. So far we have covered what you should do on the front end. What should be your first steps to make sure that you're actually profitable? Okay. Now we need to talk about the next step. Once you are somewhat profitable, what are the other things you can do to not only be profitable immediately and very quickly, but also to be able to help others, grow teams, develop these assets that you can take into long-term income, residual income, and things of that nature. So for that, I'm going to throw the webinar off to one of my favorite people in the world, Kevin, who is going to walk you guys through how that actually works. So Kev, if you would like to grab the screen and actually go through a little bit of how to go about developing this whole concept into a tremendous source of income just from sharing the concept, have at it.
All right, can you guys see my screen?
No, it's not up yet. I think you need to press play. Suddenly about 600 notes have poured into the chat. So.
All right, well, I hit play. So let me know when you guys can see it.
And by the time the screen loads up, I'm going to just answer one quick question from Maria, which is the question of how do we get vendors? How do we find these vendors? So, guys, one of the reasons why I had Nathan and Dion share some of the stuff is it's actually far easier to find these vendors than you would realize. And we're going to, we have a bunch of resources we're putting together. Actually, Nikki and Parish are working on that as well. And we're going to share those resources with you, but also paid in drop shipping. As you share things, as you start selling things and you start sourcing these products, you can just go to those manufacturers that you're sourcing from, or you can contact other people who you know who have sourced their own products, and you can have them list their products in the marketplace as well. So it's actually far easier than you guys are thinking right now, but we're going to cover that in some more detail soon. So Kev, if you would like to now continue, since we can see your screen, that would be great.
Sounds good. Okay, so look, every company out there should, I would hope, pay you for doing the activities that you know, would make you successful. And so just like a lot of companies out there, we have something called a rewards plan where we reward members for bringing people into Infinii. Now, the main difference that we have here with anything that you've ever seen is that we actually have a product that can make you money. Anything you've ever seen out there, anything you've ever done out there has been off of the premise of consume it, drink it, you know, rub it on your skin, right? But doing those actions has never resulted in your bank account getting bigger. Doing those actions has never resulted in you making more money. With Infinii, our product is making you money and teaching you and giving you the tools and the software to leverage the e-commerce space and grow a successful business. So it's a totally different scenario. Now, thousands of people have made money on the e-commerce side, tens of thousands of people from what we've taught them over the years. What we want to do now is introduce you to the rewards plan that you can get paid for and grow huge incomes by sharing this opportunity, keeping in mind that the product itself makes you money, which no one out there can say that. Okay, so this is our rewards plan, and we've gone through a couple generations of this as we wanted to make sure we had the right rewards plan for not just our members, but for this day and age that we're in now, for the times that we're in now. Most of the rewards plans you're going to see are antiquated, outdated, and were great 30 years ago, right? This isn't, a rewards plan from 1970. So the way that we go ahead and help people get an income here is we have 4 different ways to earn in the rewards plan. Most rewards plan, you're going to see 18 or 20 different ways because they make it difficult to hit. So here's what we do. If you don't know about it, if you don't know the price points in Infinii, we have 3 different levels you can join at: Prime, Surge, and Excel. $50, $150, and $400 monthly. Now, if you were to bring somebody in to Infinii, if you were to introduce this and say, hey, yeah, I'm paying down my mortgage and I'm paying down my car because of this e-commerce thing that I'm doing, come check it out, and they join you, whatever that upfront sale, whatever they're buying day one, that first day, you're going to get a 25% jumpstart. That means you're going to get 25% of that sale. So if they came in at Excel, the highest level, you'd make $100 when they did that immediately. Now, we're very, very big. That's one way to earn. So we're 25% there, right? The next way to earn is all about getting you to a milestone and getting those folks that you bring into to a milestone. We have to have goals. And when you hit a milestone, we're going to make sure you get cash in your pocket. So number 2 is your milestone. We have different ranks inside of Infinii. And as you hit those ranks, you start hitting those milestones, you're going to get a milestone bonus check. So when you hit manager, you'll get $50. When you hit regional manager, you'll get $100. When you hit national manager, $350. Global manager, $500. So every time you hit one of these ranks, you start racking up the money, you start making money quick, 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 because we want to celebrate your successes. Now, here's the cool part though. When you brought somebody into this and they hit a milestone, guess what? They're going to get that check match too. They're going to get that milestone, right? You're going to check match them. So if I brought in Bill and Bill hit global manager, he would have made $1,000 in milestones and I would have check matched him. I would have gotten 20% of that. Pretty crazy, right? Now, if Bill brings in somebody else and that they're my level 2, I would get 10% of that. Easy. So we're making sure that 1, you get money right in the front, and 2, when you hit these all-important beginner ranks, you start getting milestone money, milestone checks, right? So the next thing, the third way that we earn, moves into residual income. That's that income that whether you were out on the beach sipping, from a coconut, or if you were out jet skiing, or if you were out with your kids, you're getting a residual income. And that moves into step 3, which is your infinity pay. So for every person that you bring in, every leg of people, a line of people. So I bring somebody in, I bring Bob, I bring Jill, I bring Jane. From Bill under, I'm going to earn 10% of everything that's happening in their organization. Okay, 10% residual income on those legs. Now, there are caps that apply. At different ranks, you make more and more, but 10% to infinity levels. That way, if I have a leader pop in here 15 levels deep, I can still earn a nice income on that, 10%. Now, something else happens, the 4th way to earn. Something really cool happens as we start hitting these ranks. The folks that we bring in, our personals that we bring in and help get started with this, we're going to start check matching them at regional manager, national manager, global manager, director, and so on. You start check matching them 5%, 10%, 15%. So if I brought in Ron and Ron made $1,000 in his Infinity, I would check match that at regional manager at 5%. So I have a vested interest in his success, right? A monetary interest. Not only am I making money from the milestones when he hit it, but now I'm going to check match him when he starts getting his residual income and his residual check. I'll start check matching that. So you're check matching on residual income, and that goes all the way up to 100%. And that, guys, what you just heard is gotta be the easiest, the most simple rewards plan that exists out there today. Most rewards plan are balance this leg, balance that leg, can't do this, can't do that. Oh, the stars didn't line up. Ooh, the sun didn't shine bright enough today. You're not getting paid. We don't do that. We have an easy rewards plan that is powerful and pays out pretty much double the industry average. So other companies that are running, that have network marketing companies that say, look, we'll pay people to promote this, right? We pay out on average double what those companies do because we don't have something called COGS. We don't have cost of goods that are shipped around the world, right? So we get to pay out a very, very huge amount of what comes in the door right back out to people that are growing in Infinii, that are growing with their family, and giving you another income stream to grow your business, another income stream. Tonight, you saw income streams with Amazon. You saw income streams with eBay. You saw income streams with your own stores. You saw Hitesh map that out. You heard from some awesome guys that are running around the world, just living the life, living the good life, because they have these things in place. This is yet another income stream. Getting wealthy is about multiple income streams. Some of the billionaires, the household billionaire names out there, have 400, 500 companies, 500 income streams. You typically don't get there with just one. This is yet another income stream that you have. Now, there's one thing that I didn't mention here that is really going to help you out. And there's this thing called a holding tank, okay? So when I bring in Peter, okay, I could bring in Peter and I could actually help Peter build his organization. And for 30 days, Peter sits in my holding tank. And then what I can do with Peter is I can move Peter underneath of somebody that's working, somebody that's deserving, somebody that's growing, and somebody that's going to take care of the person that I brought in and help them and help me help them. When I move that person underneath of them, something magical happens. The income levels, the volume generated, the money that's come into that person's business over the last 30 days, that money, that volume gets placed underneath of that person. And when that happens, it puts them in a position to earn a residual income on somebody that I placed in their organization, and gives them the ability to smash out the milestones, to hit manager, regional, national, global, okay? And global manager is the sweet spot, okay? This is really the sweet spot, and I'll tell you why. This is the level where people start making that job replacing income, right? This is where they start making that. And I've got something for you that I want to give you that is going to help you out. Actually, I'm going to give you two things. One, I'm going to send you guys the link to this. Okay, I'll get you guys the link to this. I'll actually email it out to you to get this rewards plan. And for those of you who are in Infinii, you can log in your back office and grab it. But we also have this global manager blueprint. Okay, this is how you can get to global manager ASAP. How you can get to global manager fast. And that is by helping introducing three partners into Infinii. 3 people that are interested in building this with you. And also, I would say, introduce 3 customers. Because look, we have the vast majority of people in Infinii are customers. They're not even interested in promoting the rewards plan until they get some money in their pocket. And then they go, wow, this thing actually works. I can't believe it. Now I want to share this, right? And then they become partners and blow it up and go and just do amazing things and activate this particular income stream. So I made this global manager blueprint to help you kind of chart that out and actually write down the names of people that you're going to be working with, partner 1, partner 2, partner 3, And then when you get 3 customers, putting a check mark in the box. And if you were to do that, if you were to have 3 partners come in, if you wrote your name here and had a partner here, a partner here, a partner here, and then got 3 customers, and they went and did that, just a couple levels deep, then you'd be hitting this global manager rank or really close to it. And this is that job replacing income. And what's really cool about this, and what's really cool about this company, and I think that you'll all agree, is that most people, most companies, this is all they got. They have a rewards plan, a shiny rewards plan. That's all they got. And if you've listened to anything I've said, then you've heard me talk about this as another income stream that you can build. Might be your biggest income stream for a lot of you. I know a lot of you are making huge money with this, but it can be just one income stream inside of this platform that has multiple income streams available to you. eBay, Amazon, having your own store, sourcing from the marketplace, all these problems that we've solved in the industry in the last couple of years, and you guys get to take advantage of all this. So I want to make this real for you guys. I want you to see how real this really is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hop over here onto Facebook. Here we go. So what I want to do is just toss a post on our Facebook fan page. Okay. And I want you guys to see what happens, because we have so many people growing in income with Infinii on the rewards plan, with their e-commerce business, all over. And I want you to meet some of them. So I'm just going to publish this question. This question just says, hey, growing an e-commerce business has never been easier for our members. Question: who's excited about Infinii and growing an income with our training, tools, and community? Because that's what it's about, right? And I want you guys to pop on over there and take a look at what some of our members are doing. Give this a little bit. Let some folks hop on over there. They'll go over. They'll be sharing some stories. They'll share some of their results. We have some amazing people doing some amazing things. And I want you guys to see firsthand what they've done and what they're doing and how excited they are about Infinii. Not just one part. They're excited about all of these parts. And if there's anyone on here that says, hey, Kevin, I don't know how to grow anything online. I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't know how to grow a business online, right? I don't know how to introduce people into Infinii. I'm not sure how to do this. That's okay, because we've got you covered. We teach you how to do that. And we have something called the Infinii Network. We have something called the Infinii Network. And I'm just going to populate this and let some folks come over. Check it out. Ready to grow me. All right. We got some folks, some inbound. While that's working, this is a platform that we teach you guys how to market, because we can't just say, and this is what most companies do. They say, hey, here's a link. Go ahead and call, your Aunt Susie, your Uncle Bob, your Uncle Jim, right? And that's all they do. Well, that's fine. That's a warm market thing, and that's great. But we want to go beyond that. We go beyond that, and we teach people how to leverage the internet through solo advertising, video marketing, Bing pay-per-click. We've got a whole legacy training suite in here. We do live training calls, back to the basics, okay? And we teach this community how to grow their income, how to grow an income by leveraging the power of the internet to recruit, okay? And it's pretty awesome, because each other every single day, grow their business, and creating some of the most advanced things out there, like creating a capture page and a sales funnel, is very easy in this system. It really comes down to pointing and clicking your mouse a few times. All right. You're really just going and saying, I want to create some kind of a sales funnel. And you'd go and you'd name it. You'd pick your capture page that you want, right? You'd pick your sales page that you want, webinar replay. You'd pick an autoresponder. This is a system that allows you to communicate with your leads. You'd pick which one you want, Aweber, Get Response, or the free one that we give you, which is pretty awesome, by the way. No out of pocket, no more expenses for it. And you just create a campaign. And when you create that campaign, the page is going to refresh for you. And you've got your link right here. Boom. You've got your capture page that goes to your sales page, that goes to your sales funnel. And when somebody puts their name and email address, you're generating something that Hitesh talked about a little bit ago, which is an asset. You're generating a list of people. Anybody Anybody who is on eBay or Amazon or any companies, they always email you, right? They're emailing you, emailing you, emailing you, emailing you. Why? Because their email lists are one of their biggest assets that they have. And we want you to build your own assets, right? Your own email list that you can go ahead and monetize. And we teach you how to do it in some of our training. We give you our quick links and our banners. So if you guys got a blog, you can just grab one of these banners and put it on your blog. You get your quick links out there that you can share. And we're actually launching a blogging platform in here. So you can literally come in here, push a button, boom, you've got a blog. And we'll teach you how to monetize that. Okay? Pretty awesome stuff. Video marketing. For those of you who haven't done any kind of video marketing, we teach you how to make your first video, how to shoot your first video without ever turning the camera on, because most people are camera shy. Next week, we're actually going to be doing a live training where I'm going to turn a camera on and shoot a video for you guys so you can see me shooting a video in real time. So all of these possibilities that you have here with Infinii, all of these different routes that you can earn from and that our members are earning from, everything you need to grow a business is right here. And so if you're on here and you're not a part of Infinii yet, then I would highly suggest that you get back to the person who brought you on here. Or if you're watching this on a replay, click on the button and join, because what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks, months, and years is you're actually going to be left behind. This whole opportunity, this whole ecosystem, this family is building their business with you or without you. And we'd much rather do it with you, right? These folks can't be stopped. They're growing incomes in ways that 5-10 years ago would seem like, was 2 decades off, right? And they're in the future right now, growing their income with multiple different income streams, with the e-commerce and with the rewards plan. And you can be a part of that. This is what the future of all of these home-based businesses that you see out there, any of them that you see, most of them will be gone very, very shortly for a lot of different reasons. And we will be here standing arms locked together, helping each other succeed, helping each other grow. And you can be a part of that movement now or later, or you could just flat out miss it. I don't want you to miss it, because lives are being changed. And that's what we're passionate about doing, is changing lives. You can do that here. So I would get involved. So guys and gals, this is, if you got any questions, pop them in the chat. But you guys have gotten a pretty cool layout of a business plan. You've seen multiple income streams tonight. And so if you're ready to get started, then get back to whoever sent you this, and or click that get started button. And Hitesh, if you've got anything else, if you want to pop out, if you got anything else to say. But I'm just excited for these guys to get started too, because you can see right here, guys, in real time. And I can leave this up here, and you guys can go over the fan page and take a look. I mean, no company, okay, just so you know, no company would ever go out and ask publicly on a fan page, who's excited about this and who's growing an income with it. They wouldn't do it because they'd be booed off of social media. They might put a cute little image product, and that's cool. That's all cool. But we get to do stuff a little bit differently, because we actually have people that are growing an income for the first time ever. Big incomes with this.
Yeah. One of the funniest things is if you do go on social media, you'll find a lot of people who actually use results of our members to try and promote other stuff. It's the weirdest thing. But look, here's an important question that I want to ask. As you know, I like stopping and asking a question and getting a response. So very important question. Who up until now was not in Infinii and now realizes that you're missing out on probably the biggest trend of the century with e-commerce and is going to be getting in on it today?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeses are coming in. Beautiful. So the important thing, guys, in all of this is that there's a very simple process you need to follow. We need to make sure that the person who invited you to this webinar is the one who gets credited for it. So please make sure that whoever invited you to the webinar, you write them back or you get their link to make sure they are credited for the sale. And that is an important part of all of this. I know, Norman, you would. but that's not how it works. So, guys, I hope you all enjoyed everything that we covered tonight. We're going to be holding another webinar next week, and we look forward to all of you enjoying with this, generating your income goals with it, and hitting all the ideas that you have in your mind of what you could accomplish if you just had a working system with a solid business plan. So that's it from us. We will speak with you guys soon, and all of you have a good night or good day wherever you are in the world.